Hey guys, welcome to my F2000 weapon review. So this weapon came with the Second Assault DLC and it's fairly easy to unlock. You need to complete the Express Train assignment. If you want to see my unlock guide for the F2000, check it out in the annotation or description below. In this video I'm going to cover stats, where I think the F2000 is best suited, attachment recommendations, recoil countering, and my final opinion. I played with the F2000 for a good week and I just want to start off by saying it's great, very solid assault rifle, but it's one of those guns I don't really see it replacing any other assault rifle in a competitive match, but I'll get more into that later on. So let's get the stats out the way. It has a fire rate of 850, so it's fairly decent in close quarters combat. It holds 30 rounds in the mag and one chambered, and has a typical 25-18 assault rifle damage model. It's a Bullpup design, so it has really good hipfire, which is definitely one of its strengths. However, one thing you're instantly going to be put off by is its reload times. Empty reload time is 3.9 seconds, and the tactical reload is 2.7 seconds. The recoil of the F2000 is fairly low, but don't let its low recoil stats deceive you. It does have a fairly strong pull to the right, especially if you really let it go full auto. Also, be warned, it has a huge first shot multiplier of 3, but despite all this, it's still controllable to a certain extent, but I'll get more into that later on. It has a very generous muzzle velocity of 600, which I would say is on the higher end of things. Now, as for where I think the F2000 is best suited to, well, assuming you're relatively confident with the weapon, I would say any close range heavy maps or game types you should do fine with, but be warned about the reload time, as it can easily result in your death. I would say you can't just run around like a madman and only having a downtime of 2 or so seconds when reloading. I would say with this weapon you're more suited to the run in and spray, kill a few targets, and then get out as quick as possible and back to cover for that long reload. As for attachment recommendations, this one is tough and it's really up to you. Some people like attachments that complement the weapon's strengths or game modes, but as a general setup that suited me, I would say go with the Compensator barrel just to help negate some of that right recoil. For underbarrel attachments, I would go either with the stubby grip or the angled grip. I say the stubby grip for less bullet spread, and the angled grip just to help out with that first shot multiplier. As for countering the recoil of the F2000, if you're fairly experienced, you shouldn't have really any issues. It's just a matter of understanding the weapon balance, and I recommend when you shoot, move your mouse or joystick down and slightly to the left just to counter that right pull. Also, the F2000 comes with a really cool 1.6 times magnification scope by default. At first it was really cool, but after playing with it for a bit, it's really not that great. The metal frame is just way too thick and can really get in the way of your vision. As usual, just choose your preferred red dot sight. As for my final opinion, I was really hoping the F2000 would be a very competitive weapon, and sure, it does have potential to be if you're very confident with it and timing your reloads well. And if that's the case, then you're going to absolutely shred people in half, especially if you have mastered how to counter its recoil. As for the more novice users, if you want a more competitive weapon, I would go for something with less reload times. I would say the F2000 in the hands of a very experienced player will easily dominate. But if you're struggling to counter that right recoil, then you're really going to have to chuck on the Compensator barrel. Once you're more confident in dealing with its first shot multiplier, you may want to throw on the stubby grip as well. It's really up to you guys at the end of the day. Personally, my rule of thumb for attachments goes, you should equip attachments to counter your weak points when using a particular weapon. But anyway, my final result, I give the F2000 7 out of 10. Which I think is a very generous score, but I would go with something else over it. If the reload times were a little bit less, I would probably recommend this as a competitive weapon, but it just doesn't quite make it. Anyway, like I said before, if you want to see my F2000 unlock guide, check it out in the annotation or in the description. My next review will be the M60 LMG. As usual, if you have any good suggestions for the F2000, be sure to leave it in the comment section so other people can know. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more of my content in the future, subscribe before you leave. So take care guys, and I'll see you next time.